Instead of creating job journal lines manually, you can also create them from the job planning lines. Now, the advantage of doing this is that you can start from existing information because your job planning lines is what you actually plan for the job, resources, items, and so on. So I've created a very simple example. In one of the existing jobs in my demo company, I've added a job task, number 400, which is the installation of an alarm system. Now, for the job task line, you can enter one or multiple job planning lines. So let's check out the planning lines for this task. So to install the alarm system, we need a resource, someone that does the installation. In this case, it's Terry for 16 hours. And of course, we also need the alarm system item. So in this case, I've entered 3. So this is consumption, just like in the previous video where we used the item journal directly. Also, this will result in consumption. So we will consume hours, but we will also consume these items. And remember, this is an item that I've set up myself, and it's set up with specific serial number tracking. So we need to assign serial numbers before we can post the consumption. Now, we can do this in the job journal as already demonstrated, but you can also already prepare this from the job planning lines. So if I select the line for the item, I can go to process and I can go to item tracking lines. And the way to do this is exactly the same as from the job journal. So by going to the item tracking lines, I will get this page. And now I need to enter 3 serial numbers, as you can see here. Now also here you could do this manually, or you can use the select entries function. So, and I will again use this function. So I will just have Business Central make a suggestion. So, and by scrolling to the right, you can see that it selects these 3 serial numbers, which is fine for me. So I will just accept this by clicking on OK. There we go. I can now close the item tracking lines page, and now I'm ready to transfer this line to a job journal or both lines. So I can click here on process, create job journal lines. So posting date is okay, the template, the batch, that's all fine. There we go. So they were successfully transferred to the job. Normally I should be able to check them here. Open job journal, there we go. And now you will see I have a job journal just like in the previous video with, in this case, the item line, because I only selected the job planning line for the item. I also could have selected them both. Then I would have 2 lines in my job journal, but because we are focusing on items and item tracking, that's fine for me. Sorry, so here you can see now the item number, the quantity, and if I check the item tracking lines, you will of course see that these 3 serial numbers are also transferred to the job journal, which means that I don't need to enter them here manually anymore. So after checking this, I can just go ahead and post the job journal. So there we go, and yeah, just like in the previous example, if I go to the job, so here we have the job, and if I check, let's see the ledger entries, you will see 3 entries of the type usage, the item with their serial numbers. So that's a second way of posting item tracking lines from a job journal. So by first entering the item tracking lines on the job planning lines and then transfer them to the job journal from where you can post.